Palm Paradise. I'm Portia Smith-Dejean.
I'm Christiana Lilly.
I'm Olivia Holaus.
And we are the Palm Queens. We are on episode 10 of Palm Paradise.
I can't believe
nuts.
it. Cannot believe that it's number
Like,
10.
Are you kidding?
I know. So I'm just like looking back at like social media and then us pitching to Boca magazine like, hey, we have this idea. Do we want to partner on this together? Yes, the answer was yes. And then here we are now. So I'm really glad that we have that partnership with Boca magazine.
We should have a huge celebration. I mean, 1-0 is big.
Yeah.
1-0.
Remember what was it? We got to like 10K followers when we were working and we did like the balloon.
Yeah, the boomerang.
Yeah, the boomerang.
Do people still do boomerangs?
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't.
Right?
So what Portia's talking about is we reached 10,000 followers on Facebook when we were all three working together. So I ordered those big gold, number balloons, and we got out in front of the office. So we did a boomerang with 10K.
Yeah. Nobody does boomerangs anymore.
No. Well,
Wow.
I guess social media has changed so much. I mean, how much do you use it? Like, use it for work?
Constantly.
Yeah.
More than I want to because of work.
I will say the more, to answer your question, all the time for work, right? But the more that I use it for work, I'm noticing the less I want to use it for personal.
Yes. Like people will be like, oh, you didn't post about that trip we went on. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
If you were there, you know what happened.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Like, I've got so many things just in my phone, and they just live there now. I'm just like,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, that's okay. There was a time where we did not share everything that we do. So.
And good,
true.
because we wouldn't have gotten away with nearly as many things. Like, that's what I feel bad about college students now. I'm like, guys, stop documenting things.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Good
This
point.
is so random, but stick with me. I was listening to so random. Apologies in advance. Khloe Kardashian has like a podcast, and they were talking about like clubbing back in the day and how basically like if you went to I guess she had to go for like a paid gig type of situation for like a Skims after party for her sister. And anyways, so now they said everybody just doesn't enjoy the club. They just have their phone out, but the entire time. Like anything happening, it's just phone out. And I was like, oh wow, you couldn't do that. Like the things that our generation, like we do not want that out there for the public. Like let it live.
But it's true that you really don't get to enjoy the moment. Like, I mean, we go to all of these events as well in the community, and there are, some guests, attendees that have this tendency of wanting to take a photo with everybody at the event. And, I'm there standing and thinking, but you're not enjoying the actual moment.
Yeah.
Is it really necessary to have the same 50 pictures over and over and over again, And I think even sometimes with my family, I'm like, you know what, today there's going to be no pictures. We're just going to have fun.
Yeah.
I know for me, when I'm having to make a reel, if we're sponsoring an event or something, I'm having to be so cognizant of, I need to make sure I get this, pop-up videotaped, and I need to get this one and this one and this one. And instead of enjoying it, I'm like, I need to get people pouring this or putting this out or making this at whatever activation station that's been created instead of action. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't get to do any of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was busy having to record, and as opposed to when I'm just going as a guest.
Yeah.
But with all due respect, that's also part of work.
Of course, it's a work event.
Right.
It's a work event. But I think for like when you're not working and you're wanting to have fun, it's like, take a picture or two and then put it down.
Exactly. I'm like, where's my phone? That's the best feeling. Where is it? I don't know.
I feel like I'm having a lot more nights, like even like ladies' nights where you go out. I'm having so many more conversations like, oh man, we completely forgot to take a picture. Yeah. And before, it'd be like top of the list, let's knock it out. But I think that's like, it's showing, you're really, to your point, living in the moment, being there. And I just love that. Like I've seen the opposite of that. I've seen individuals that act a completely different way when the cameras are on and like acting like they're having a good time, and then as soon as like the camera's like put down they go back to like being a mute or something. It's just really weird.
And then you see those influencers too. It's like, oh, the event was so boring. I'm like, well, I couldn't have told from your reel.
It looked fabulous,
but it's work. They kind of have to pretend like I had a great time.
Yeah.
And I don't know when I see restaurant reels, I'm like, I don't know about this. And you guys all have to use it for work all the time too.
Yeah. I say this all the time. If I didn't have my own business and if I did not need to post, I probably would not be on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I already see myself pulling away from Facebook. Like I really don't use it that much. I'm really more on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if I didn't have to be, I think I wouldn't really be on it very much.
Because both of you are fairly private on your personal pages, but very active on your business pages.
Yes.
It's like two different people.
It's like, it literally is. It's like hidden lives.
Here's a video of me selling my product, and then it's like, oh gosh,
It's so
retreat.
true. It's so true. Like honestly though, like in the early 2000s, I was definitely put everything out there. When social media and Instagram was first came on the
Or
scene.
you put out a Facebook album, you had some weird name for whatever night out,
I was one of those people that were just super cringy and would like take a picture of the food like back then. Now forget it. Like now, no. Like I'm getting harassed by family members like, your kids are like 3 years older than their last picture. And I'm like, all right, sorry.
I'm like, you know what they look like.
I was like, I'll do better. But yeah.
I actually knew a girl that didn't announce, for her own personal reasons, but she didn't announce she was pregnant or anything on social media until the baby came, and she was kind of like, if you didn't know I was pregnant anyway, then we're not keeping in touch.
You're not that close.
Well, you know what I mean?
That happened to me because I was pregnant during COVID, so everybody was in hibernation, and I didn't say anything. So sure enough, we all started to immerse, and I had this humongous belly, Or and I decided at that time not to even post about it because I wanted that like private, quiet moment, and I thought it was really nice. So good point.
Yeah. So she was
I
like,
knew.
I got it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm saying beyond like if you're only
friends.
relying on somebody's Instagram account to be like, oh, they got engaged or they got married. And I'm like, well, are they really your friend if you're not telling them things either,
Exactly.
And it can blow up the other way. Like, look how many people are dating and not in that committed, stage just yet. They post it and then they're on like, oh, you're not even with this person anymore. Now you got to delete all of that.
Well, I have a bit of a theory that it's been proven that if you do if you couples like are posting a lot and they seem like they're so in love, which I hope everybody is. I always say, ooh, there might be a little bit of trouble in paradise.
Yeah,
like you just said. So that's my theory.
I've seen the memes which cracks me up where they were like, women, if they need to find something out, become FBI agents. And it's like, bam, 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 bam. Or like if somebody says like, it's like, oh, our anniversary, the ups and downs, the rough patches. Tell me what the rough patches were. I need to know about these ups and downs. Start going back through their feed.
Exactly. No, just pixelate their face and just be like, me and hubby.
This man. Yeah. Well, speaking of social media, we have a new trend in social media, and our next guest, Amanda, is going to be telling us all about it. And when she was telling, I was like, we need to have you on here because this is intriguing. So stay tuned. Well, in our completely social media obsessed world, we have people that are now working your wedding for your wedding day reels and behind the scenes and everything. And we have Amanda Ferrier today, who's going to be telling us about that because you are a social media pro. So thank you so much for coming on to Palm Paradise.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to jump straight into it. I know you have over a decade of experience with social media, which in the social media lifespan is like ancient.
Yeah, seriously.
Do I look good?
Fabulous. So what are people looking for now where they're wanting social media managers for their wedding day?
Yeah, it's like a really fun niche that just came out probably about a year or so ago, really when it comes to these TikTok reels, Instagram reels with the transitions and all these really fun things. And so I really wanted to take my content creation and my love for that, being that, that creativity and putting that into the hands of brides and grooms for them to have for their day, something that they can really enjoy. And since we're in this whole social centric world, it's something that they can post for their friends, for their families, for themselves. And the beauty about it is since I've been doing this for so long, I feel like, it's something that is just me. It's, I'm almost like a robot when it comes to all this stuff. And my creative mind and getting everything working. But the beauty about it is that you get it back in 24 hours.
I was just going to say, instead of waiting months for your video.
Right. You can wait months.
Say, how is this different than what people expect from, besides the timeline, what people expect from like their videographer?
Right. So their videographer is going to get the pose shots, the family shots, all that beautiful stuff. So I am nowhere near competing with that.
Yeah.
Like you definitely need to have your photographer, definitely need to have your videographer, but I'm more there behind the scenes, not to mess anything up, not to mess any timelines up, but just to kind of be there and be creative with certain things. So yeah, a videographer and photographer is going to give you all those beautiful portraits that you might be blowing up into, who knows how big of a canvas in your house. But what I'm going to be doing is doing that extremely quick turnover time where I'm going to be providing uncapped amount of content. So I could be getting those behind the scenes, the details, the little things that a photographer might not necessarily have on the roster for the day. And then, of course, taking, let's just say, for example, a bride with her bridesmaids, getting ready and then doing that transition where then all of a sudden they're dressed up and they're walking down, getting ready to go to the aisle.
To whatever hot TikTok music is trending.
Exactly. Exactly. So just really fun, really unique, really creative, and then something that they can really just the next day relive their day.
Because I know people are expecting from the photographers, they want those sneak peek shots that they can post on Instagram or Facebook. So it's kind of like the video partner to that.
Exactly.
It also feels like more organic and more candid too. And I always love those candid moments.
For sure.
You're right there capturing those moments.
For sure.
Yeah.
The all the little things, and so capturing that and also just having uncapped raw content. Really just being able to go and scroll through your phone and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was happening until I saw it 24 hours later. Mm-hmm. And then you get, your whatever your scope was with your photographer where you're getting those posed pieces of content.
And we were saying too earlier that, we don't get to enjoy events anymore, right? You go to an event, you feel like you have to capture so many moments.
Right.
This really allows the bride and the groom to be in the moment, put their phone away.
100%.
As they should
not have your phone.
You should not,
100%.
period. But I don't know. I feel like probably there are many that do.
Right.
Yeah.
Tuck it down your dress.
Yeah.
Pull it out when you need
But
to.
even for the bridesmaids and all the friends that
For
are
sure.
there, they know someone's there, getting
Capturing it.
Yeah. So.
And to that point, it's also for their guests, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of weddings that I've been to recently, they've also asked now for no technology, no
An unplugged
anything.
wedding,
Right.
yeah.
Thank you. That's the perfect
There
word.
we
An
go.
unplugged wedding so that their guests can really be involved. But a lot of people don't have that, capability. So you always have your friends kind of doing it. And then it's like when you're at a concert, you're getting the caption or you're getting, what you're there for, but you're not experiencing it and really enjoying the moment because you're in the middle of trying to capture it forever.
Yeah.
But if you have someone like a wedding content creator who's there, you really can be, uncapped, and your family and your friends can also enjoy it just as much as you are.
So are you getting the reception component too, or are you just getting the bride and groom getting ready and the pre-ceremony stuff?
So the idea is obviously there's a few different packages, but the first look, the getting ready, that's a really fun transition time because that's really where the transitions are happening. But then you also want to get those really fun kind of exciting moments where you have your Uncle Todd who's busting moves on the dance floor and you didn't even know that was happening and kind of incorporating that. So it really will depend on the package that's chosen, the length of time. But I want to be there for it all because weddings, first of all, are just so much fun. Who doesn't want to be involved in a wedding? And, there's so many ways, but yes, in terms of transitions and those really kind of cool TikTok reels type thing, it would be more towards that beginning of the day where you really get what you're starting with and then what that big moment is.
And do you feel like this part of the industry was born because brides were asking for it or they were not, or was it kind of they weren't even realizing that they could hire somebody to do it for them?
Yeah, I would say that social media has just, we all know it, has taken over every single ounce of our life.
Yeah.
And so it became something that was excitement and something that's new. And then just being able to showcase how you are in this very cool way, you don't have that much opportunities to do it, right? When I'm going out at night to go to dinner, I'm not like, hey, husband, can you get me while I transition into my nice outfit for, Cooper's Hawk or wherever I'm going, right? So it's a special moment that allows you to just do these very grand out of the box type things that you just wouldn't be able to do again.
But now we're talking weddings, and I know that's what you're specializing in, but would you do other events like a bridal shower or a gender reveal, because I feel like I want you at
100%.
all of my events.
100%.
The next hockey tournament that Guillaume is in.
Exactly.
100%. So, there could be add-ons then, for the bachelorette party, for the rehearsal dinner, all of those type of things that you would want to be uncapped.
I wouldn't want no reels at the bachelorette.
These are just for you. Don't share them.
It's just a black film.
It's like the teaser, like the silhouettes. So yes, there's a whole multitude, of events that could be attending, but
And I can see
around
totally
that.
in Boca having people hire for like galas and stuff like that.
Oh,
That's
for
why
sure.
I ask. Yeah, I feel like you could definitely be everywhere, but then you'd never sleep either. So
Well, that's kind of already happening.
Amanda's like, that's my problem to have, not yours. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. It's a fun idea. It's something exciting, not only for me to be able to get, dip my toes in since I've been in the world for so long, working for a lot of B2B, B2C companies. So this is just something really fun where my creativity can just go wild.
And the cool thing is social media in general is always evolving. So there's always a new transition, a new trend.
Sure.
So I could see this evolving and just like going to the next level. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Always new.
And with that, a lot of people where they have to wait a couple months to get things in the social media world, it's like that transition or that song or that trend is so last week.
Right.
But then because you're doing that 24-hour turnaround, it works. And how much, no, I don't want to say maybe it is research, but just like how much time are you having to spend on social media just to be staying in the know of all those things? What sound is in, what, transitions are in?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is already happening in my day-to-day, right? Because I'm looking for different companies and different industries and things like that. But really with the wedding industry, it's so much fun because there is so much content around it. Again, because it's that fun, exciting, grand type of event that people want to capture and want to share, the love and their forever. And so finding those transitions is really fun to kind of see how people are doing it and then put your own spin on it. But there's definitely research, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So one last question from me. So what do you do to unplug?
Ooh, what
What's
a
your
great
unplugged
question.
day?
Yeah.
What a great question. So I love to do my massage.
Mm-hmm.
I get there enough? Absolutely not. But it's in my mind and this is what I want to do. So, a day of that, I love reading my books. They might take me longer than an average person to finish, but they do come with me
Not a contest.
on a ride, and I'm like, I will get to you one day. So, definitely that. And then, my daughter, my little 7.5-year-old, she's just a doll. So she's in such a fun age right now where we can do some really fun things. And so, spending time with her is just a blessing too.
Do you find yourself having to tell yourself not, because we were talking about this, not trying to social media your personal life? Or do you feel like it's two separate worlds?
So it is absolutely, for me personally, it's two separate worlds.
Yeah.
I have been so busy for so long, which is a great problem to have in the world of social media, that I'm posting or doing research, strategy, all the things for so many clients on a daily basis that my social media is like all the way in the back burner that it's...
I was looking at your post. I think the last
my
you
gosh,
posted
was
was
like-
like 2023
Yeah.
or something.
And I'm like, don't look at my social. Don't judge me. Don't judge me because I'm so much better at this. And yeah, for me, I just, at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, I've been on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, all the things,
Blue Sky,
Blue
Threads.
Sky, for who knows how many hours today that like I can't even fathom putting something together for myself.
Your
So-
Apple Watch time for our social must be off the charts compared to most people.
Your screen time has been 17 hours out of 24.
Yeah.
It's so, yeah.
But it's work. It's work.
It's
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
right?
I get it.
That's true. I
And
can
also,
use
I'll
that.
get those alerts and I'm like, well, does this count? Because like 3/4 of that was work, like creating a reel for work or checking our Instagram or checking our
Right.
Facebook, replying to messages from people that sent us things.
It's work.
Or somebody reaching out on Facebook about a subscription. I'm like, we have a subscription button on the website. And okay.
Here it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I will, that will be my New Year's resolution. I will do better because I am really good at social media. And I've worked with some really, really great companies, local gems here, Fortune 500,
Yeah.
and everything in between. So maybe I'll do some transitions on myself. Me here. Me here.
There you
Me
go.
here. So you guys are inspiring me.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Well, we have the studio here. If you ever need to use stuff right here in Boca.
It's beautiful.
All right. Well, Amanda, where can people find you if they're interested? Not your social media, but where can people find you?
So for South Florida Weddings BTS, that is the @. So the @ handle would be @South Florida Weddings BTS, and I am on TikTok and Instagram for that particular business.
Very nice.
Yes.
And we are also on TikTok and Instagram. So
Yeah.
everybody follow everybody.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Amanda, for coming on. And we will call you next time we have an event.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, guys, would you have hired a social media manager for your wedding day if you could have?
I mean, probably not. But in theory, it's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
I mean, I know when we got married, it was a big deal. My friend had somebody make us a Snapchat filter for our wedding day.
That was a big
and that
deal.
was like,
Then. That was you made it.
I know. And so then people were posting on Snapchat and they had said Christiana and Jack, 2017 or whatever.
Yeah.
Cute.
But when you guys got engaged, had you picked out the ring together or shopped together or anything? 'Cause I see people doing that.
No, I'm more of I want to be surprised, but I did say kind of the cut I would prefer,
Yeah.
and I'm an emerald cut type of girl, so I kind of had hinted, but I was completely surprised, so I wasn't expecting to be proposed to, yeah, no, it was a surprise, so I like that element.
What about you, Portia?
Yeah, no, we didn't necessarily shop together, but you go into shops here and there, and you're just messing around, putting
Pretend.
stuff on,
Aww.
and then you drop a couple, not hints, but you're like, oh, I don't like that color. For me, I don't like normally I'm a gold girly, but I don't like a platinum or a white gold
Yeah.
for a ring. I'm
Because
not
gold
a
is
gold
not
ring.
is kind
Yeah.
of passe. Although I do see some people wearing gold bands again, though.
Yeah. So conversations like that, I would state again, not dropping hints, just organically in conversation. But
Mhm.
other than that, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The nice thing about what I love about my ring, though, inside you can't see it, but it does say Olivia and then a heart Daniel. I think it should have been Daniel Heart Olivia. Daniel loves Olivia.
He needs to remind you that you love him.
he's like-
Olivia loves Daniel. But I thought that was a nice personal touch.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
we
love
didn't
it.
shop or talk about anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. Zero conversations. And I had no clue he was shopping for rings or anything. I actually tried on my sister's engagement ring 3 years before we got engaged or whatever. And I remember being like, so what size are you? And she's like, 4 3/4. Me too. It fits perfectly. He proposes and it's a size 8.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
No, but then I love that too, that he picked it out. He
Yeah,
saw this and was
yeah.
like, this is what I want to give her. And I
then
love
he
that.
thought
Yeah.
it fit you too. He
I
had
know.
that in mind.
Well,
Not
to
the
be-
size, obviously.
To be fair, I have
but-
small hands, and he went into my jewelry box and he picked out one of my rings, but it's one of my costume jewelry rings that only fits my middle finger.
Got it.
But he was trying.
He
was
did.
trying.
I mean, he really checked all the boxes there. Now, is this something you would ever do where, someone gifts you something? They're like, oh, but if you don't like it, Daniel always said, oh, but if you don't like it, we can go exchange it. We can, is that something you do, or you almost feel bad doing that? You're like, oh, well, he picked this for me.
It depends
so.
what it is.
I'm a Capricorn, so we take it back.
You do. And you're like, I may as well like what I have.
we say it nicely, oh, thank you so much for this. And, not necessarily my style, but I'd love to, choose another one with you and get your opinion on,
Okay,
some
that's a
selections.
nice- All right.
Yeah, I have some items that are more sentimental. So, and I mean, he knows what I like for the most part. And I like to think I know what he likes for the most
Yeah.
part. But then there's stuff if we just get each other clothes or something, then it's not as sentimental. And then I know
Yeah.
he'll be like, I am not, and I'll be like, I think you should try this. And he's like, I think not. And he'll return it and my feelings aren't hurt. I want him to
Yeah.
buy something that he'll actually like.
The
and
way
wear.
that I look at it is from a sentimental lens, obviously you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But if you bought it for me, I want to wear it. And when I look at it, I want to think of you. If I don't like it, I'm never going to wear it. So it's you know what I mean?
You're never going to think
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah, I've actually met girls that were like, I don't like my engagement ring. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
That's
so what
tough.
you do?
glad
I
we-
don't
I'm
know if
glad
I could
we
do that
like
for an engagement
ours.
ring.
But I have a feeling that if you go to our next guest
Yes.
spot, that will not happen because
True.
all of their stones are unbelievable.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we have our sponsor for this episode, so stay tuned. All right, and our sponsor for today's episode is David Rosenberg from Rosenberg Diamonds. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
And we were just talking about engagement rings and everything, so I want to go straight to it. What trends are you seeing right now when people are buying wedding bands, engagement rings? What trends are you seeing and what changes have you seen over the years?
So definitely we're seeing a lot of cushion cuts, emerald cuts, as far as younger generation that are going for. They love the radiance as well. I mean, they like to keep it simple, just a little diamonds on the shank and maybe a hidden halo, very clean and sophisticated without too many side stones. Where a decade ago, it was all 3-stone rings where you had 3 rounds or with side stones like trapezoids or things of that nature. But now it's more clean.
And something I'm also noticing is a lot of people aren't just sticking with diamonds or, white diamonds. They're wanting to go with different colors, like if she likes pink, or is that something you're seeing as well?
So we actually sell fancy color diamonds.
Yeah.
However, rarely do we sell for an engagement ring in pink, only because the price range on them are totally different.
Okay.
So, but we do yellows as well. Pinks, though, are a whole different subject, of course.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, for example, let's take a 2-carat stone. So, in a nice stone, in a 2-carat, in a nice quality, per se, F color, in a VS, you can get something nice for right around $30,000-ish. But if you wanted in a pink, which has multiple levels, like a fancy light pink, a fancy intense or vivid, if you went to the lightest of them all, in a 2-carat would be north of $200,000.
That's significant.
And
Yeah.
if you
So
went
pink
to,
girlies are expensive.
they're very expensive. And if you went to a vivid, I mean, it could be north of a couple million.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I mean,
Gentlemen, take notes.
yeah. If you wanted this kind of pink,
Oh, forget it.
you're in the millions for sure.
Plus, it doesn't go with everything.
Yeah.
So just stick to the clear classic diamond, right?
I mean,
To
if you
start.
have the dollars for it, why not?
If you have one for different outfits.
Oh,
That
true.
would be cool.
True.
We did have. It's funny. We had a client from Texas, a very wealthy gentleman, and I did all the fancy colors. So it was pink, blue, red, orange, yellow, violet, purple.
Wow.
We did all the different colors. Of course, everything is natural. And he loved it. And he says, I want to buy it for my daughter. She's graduating high school.
Oh,
wow.
high school.
And I said to him, seriously?
Can I get adopted?
And I made almost like diamonds by the art, but it was basically with a bar. And it was 8 figures. And she wore it every day to college. Nobody knew anything about it. It was just incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Those
sure-
stones today worth more than triple what they paid for it back then.
So it's an investment as well.
They are, yes, the fancy colors for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you must have so many wild stories, but your boutique is beautiful. I mean,
Thank
it's
you.
stunning. There's none other like yours,
Thank you.
So, I mean, how much thought went into creating your space?
A lot. A lot. So we've been in the same space for 18 years. I built it from sand up. I purchased it in 2000. I think I saw the space in 05, and we went into the space right around the end of 06, beginning of 07. And this is the third or fourth time that I'm actually redoing the space. We actually, unfortunately, had a really bad flood back in July of 2023.
Oh.
And it wasn't weather related. It was cooling tower. And it was really bad. The ceiling collapsed. It was.
I saw
Oh.
the pictures. It wasn't just
Yikes.
like a little,
No,
it was a major.
Everything had to be torn down. The city made us tear it all down, get all new drawings and all. So we redid the space. Looks very similar to what it was as far as the architectural of it, but we took it to that next level of beauty. And every detail, I'm a detail-oriented individual, and it is incredible. Most people, I shouldn't say most, all people, when they come into the store, they all compliment about the boutique itself.
It's like a
It's
jewel.
an experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Actually, so we had the chandeliers, and it was beautiful chandeliers, and I said, you know what, I want to do all new chandeliers. So I literally got on a plane and started going into castles in Normandy and all these places. I'm like, I got to get something super cool. And I couldn't find what I really love. So I said, you know what? Baccarat, that's the way to go.
The
So
classic.
Yeah.
I contacted them in France and I said, look, this is what I'm looking to do. We're going to do over a dozen of them. Can you send someone over? Let's talk about the space. They really love the space. And I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do something. So they asked me, would you become a Baccarat dealer? So I never really thought about it. So I said, why not? Let's go ahead and do it. So we got all Baccarat chandeliers. And then we had before silver and gold leaf. And I decided, you know what? I'm going all real gold. So I did all 22
wow.
karat gold ceilings
That's
in the hallways.
amazing.
So I said, you know what? You might as well go for it.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go big
Go
or go
big.
home.
Go big, go home.
Same with your diamonds. Go
Yeah.
big or go
Yeah.
home.
And the
We-
first time I saw your new boutique was when you all graciously hosted Woman Volunteer of the Year, one of the kickoff cocktail
Yes.
parties.
Yes.
And you also had a very large yellow diamond there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I sure can. I sure can. So we had, by the way, before we go there, I
Okay.
just want to say a couple other things.
Okay.
So the boutique itself, we did all Venetian, the walls and everything else. And then one of my clients calls me up and he's in interior, they're not designers. Well, they are designers actually. And they have a local business in town. And we're talking about the diamond. And I said, how's business? And he said he opened up his new place. He ended up redoing all of our furniture and everything else. So really great guy. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Giuliano from JL, did a great job over there. But as far as the big diamond, so this is an incredible stone. It is the world's largest fancy vivid yellow in this particular shape, radiant, and in that quality. And it's an incredible diamond. I mean, came out of Africa. I've held it now for just about a year, and I just took it out really for the first time the day that you guys came out. I think I mentioned to you guys. So so we got a lot of interest in it, and hopefully we'll sell it within the next few months.
So any listeners
Yeah.
out there that are interested in this radiant yellow diamond,
Can we ask how much it's valued for?
So we're asking 30 million.
Okay.
We'll take a respectful offer, but we're asking 30 million.
That's amazing.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So we are known to sell stones at that level. Anything that is rare and unique, kind of my name attaches to.
And
it.
how do you find
I was
these
just
rare,
gonna
unique
ask that.
stones? Yeah.
So I used to travel all over the world to go find them. Now everyone knows who I am. They call me when it's done. When the rough itself comes to the table, they'll call me and they'll say, listen, we have such and such item coming on. We believe it's going to yield different shape or quality. Do you have interest? Do you want to buy into the rough? Are you interested into the final polish? So just today, I got offered a stone. It's 180 carat in the
Oh my
rough.
Gosh, wow.
And they're going to be finishing it into 4 stones. And 2 of the stones are going to be over 40 carat each.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and all of them are going to be flawless, the best color, the best clarity.
So they give you the quote. They give you the quote before they finalize it.
There is a very good guesstimate
Okay.
of what the shape and the quality will be.
Got it.
Yes. There's no guarantee, of
Cool.
course.
Yeah.
But if I commit to something, they have to deliver into whatever the commitment is at the price that we agreed on. If it's anything less, we can renegotiate.
Got it.
So fascinating. Now, did you grow up into the business?
No, I started on my own.
You did?
Yes, it's a little bit of a story, but ultimately I've always been intrigued with diamonds, and I started from zero, literally, I was in the restaurant business and in the fitness industry. So totally different.
That's a complete different
It is.
industry.
It
And you
is.
looked over here and said
Yeah.
diamonds.
Diamonds, exactly.
Much prettier.
Yes.
And now
So-
the next generation is stepping into the
That's
business.
true. My son is literally getting ready to graduate in a couple months from university. And I told him, listen, I'd like for you to do whatever makes you happy. But he said, no, I definitely want to join the family business. And he's going to. Although I've groomed him to get into the business before he was born, basically.
Yeah.
But he's really excited. So he's going to get to go to different factories, learn how to do the cutting. He's going to learn some gemology as well, and I'm going to give him different experiences by different friends of mine that are going to kind of give him quick training.
Yeah, but he's got to start ground up, right?
He
He's got
has
to
to.
pay his dues as
He has
well,
to.
right?
He has
and learn
to.
everything.
Obviously, he's not going to go through the hardships and mistakes that I have gone through, only because this is how you learn, of course. I mean, nothing just comes to you.
Right.
If it comes easy, it goes easy,
Yeah.
right? So you have
that's
to pay
good.
your dues. So, but I think he's ready. He's really excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You must be very proud.
I am. I'm proud. He's a really good student, and he has a business mindset.
That's great.
He's in great hands, as are all of Boca Raton and beyond. So all our listeners that maybe want to come visit you for the first time, how can they find you online, social media?
So social media, we're on Instagram, Rosenberg Diamonds. I think same thing goes for Facebook. It's Rosenberg Diamonds. Or our website is rosenbergdiamonds.com. We're located in East Boca, 233 South Federal Highway at the Boca Grand Building. In the same building as Mateo's. Everybody knows Mateo. So, but we are by appointment only, though. So we're Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. And but we operate by appointment just because of the type of service we like to give and the values that we deal with. It's much easier to do by appointment only.
You can create a more special service, for whatever it is that they're looking for, and
Sure.
give them that one-on-one attention.
Above and beyond the product. Look, so we have the product. Anyone who's looking for something large and important, when they walk in, they realize they're in the right place. But above and beyond just the product or the knowledge, it's really the full experience that we give. We really, all of our clients at the end of the day become friends, because to us, the transaction is really cool, but it's the relationship that we go after. And that's really where we differentiate ourselves from many others as well.
And no wonder your nickname is Iceman.
All right. Thank you so much, David, and to Rosenberg Diamonds for supporting us. And we will definitely be stopping by, if not just to see the chandeliers, but also to check out what you guys have behind the counter
Thank
there.
you, thank you.
Thank you.
We got a few
Thank
bubbles.
you.
Welcome.
So when are we going to go play Pretty Pretty Princess Dress Up at
my
Rosenberg
That
Diamonds?
$30 million.
I know.
No, that's crazy.
Maybe if we cobble together some money. But there's always somebody out there. Maybe not in Boca, but as I know, he has clients from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love that he started his own business too, you know, that, and then now he's going to train the next generation. So really cool.
Truly a family-owned business.
Yeah. And I love the fact that he made that career shift. Like, it was a completely different industry altogether.
It is. Now, we were laughing, but his nickname is Iceman. But do you remember we had an intern and we nicknamed
His name was Iceman.
What? Did I miss this?
Actually,
I thought you were there.
The last mixology we did at the Museum of Art.
Weren't you there?
I
No?
think
Yeah.
Were you, Christiana?
Yeah, but we didn't have an intern.
We did.
You had
Oh,
to-
we did in our
Iceman.
department.
Editorial didn't have an intern.
Marketing and events happened.
Yeah.
So he was a great
I missed
kid.
that then.
Nice, like college student.
Shout out to Andrew.
Andrew. And we had mixology, which is this big, craft spirits event. And all of our vendors needed a lot of ice. So the poor kid throughout the event had to carry lots of ice, like
Yeah.
bags of ice. And then we
He
started
was the
nicknaming.
Iceman.
And he was like really dressed to the nines too.
Oh, he was like, this is serious. This
yeah,
is a
like he
work
was
thing.
dressed to the nine with his slacks and his button down, and poor thing, he was just moving all around.
But with all fairness, those events are always like, I mean, we're
Crazy.
all moving
We're always
around.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I
You
tore
keeping
one of my
deodorant on
my
deck.
skirts
Yeah.
open at one of them as I was moving tables or something.
Oh my God.
But luckily I had
Yeah.
like pants or something. So I was like, well, my outfit is ruined.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
would wear sneakers in prep, and then right before people came, switch to
Heels.
heels.
And be
Yeah.
like, you've been all the time. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is how we look
Yeah.
when we move tables and chairs. But yeah, Iceman, shout out to
Shout out to Andrew.
Love it. All right. Well, I think episode 10 has come to
Yeah,
It's
close.
a close. So happy anniversary. Happy whatever
mean,
milestone
what is
to
it?
us.
Every
So-
day's a celebration.
And follow us, please.
I know.
Continue to
Everybody,
follow
please,
us.
support Palm Paradise. We are on Instagram as well as on TikTok. And then, of course, we're powered by Boca Magazine.
Yes.
Please follow Boca Magazine on social media and our website. If you are watching this right now, I hope that you can also subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're listening to us, you can watch us be crazy on YouTube. So subscribe
absolutely.
over there. And thank you all so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.